Who's ready for some hooves? You? You? Yeah? No? Yeah? No? Yeah? No? How's Atlas doing? Yo, yo. What's up, boy? Oh yeah? Throwing some shapes. Today I would like to talk about hoof care regarding goats, and it's a very important subject, and if not cared properly you can basically lose your livestock and they become crippled, and I can't stress it enough, it's very important to make sure that the hoofs are looked after, trimmed and in a good shape. So let me show you our goats, and as you can see, the terrain that they live on at the moment, it's all soft, and the hoofs are designed in such ways that they rub off on hard surfaces when they climb, and that's within goats' nature to climb on things and get on top of things and what's not, and that's how they wear down naturally. So in future my plan is to actually provide them this area where they're able to climb and in a sense actually do the job of looking after the hooves themselves in a normal way. But for now I have to use tools like such things, and basically we have to cut them. So let me show you. So this is our little feta, and her hooves are quite well looked after and I'm quite happy with them, but as you can see they've grown back a little bit already after the last trimming, and what we're gonna have to do is cut them down. I usually do this job with my wife because she holds them down, and in that way it's a little bit less stressful for them. So when she's back we'll go and get some trimming of the hooves done. For now I'm gonna go and do some cutting. I need to cut the wood. The weather is not too hot, so I can do that. Before I start cutting the wood, I want to quickly give you a look inside of the goat house, and as I said, we upgraded it all a little bit. Feeder, mineral and the hay feeder. It's been working great, and cleaning is very easy with the sand because we use this kind of fork that just picks all the hay and poo up, and it makes things quite easy. Also regarding hoof care, we find it that having sand is actually quite good because it keeps all the poo out of the actual hoof. Whilst I was cutting the wood, I thought I never really said thank you to all of you. We're getting close to the milestone of 700 followers, and it means a lot to me. Thank you for enjoying the content, and if you haven't subscribed or liked, please do so, and by all means feel free to comment underneath the videos and suggest what we'd like to see next, what interests you the most, and I'll see what I can do. So thank you, it means a lot, and enjoy the content. So we made a good dent, and now we're ready to get some hoof sorted. I usually start with clipping the front of the hoof off, just to show how far it is, and usually keep it up 90 degrees and take it off. I'm only going to do a little bit because they don't really need doing that much. Hit the white bit. Oop. And usually I would clean this out because there'll be some manure and dirt in there, but because it's quite small, and plus, as I said, being on sand, it doesn't really get anything in there, which is quite nice to work with. So yeah, we'll quickly trim it down. And these clippers aren't that good either. We're looking to get some other ones that are a bit better and allow me to do a better cut with them as well, because these don't even spring back. Makes things a bit more difficult. can see she actually has a little bit of a crack in her hoof, and I'll try and cut it as far down as I can, try and grow it out, because we don't want any of that. That'll be okay for now. Then we also trim the back of the pad, just so it kind of gives them a nice even step. Don't really need much, they're only young. The next one. Also, with better clips you can actually do whole coat at once, and that kind of gives them a better step as well. It's a better aesthetic look too. During this time it also gives us a bit of time to socialize the goat. So they're nice and calm when we do this. It's nothing traumatizing for them. She's actually quite happily relaxing on Sandra's lap. Yeah, I think that's it. Don't really need any more. And we'll do the same with all the others. Inspect them, make sure they're nice and clean and no issues, like, as I said, cracks or anything like that. By all means, we're not experts, but that's what we do. Keeps them nice and clean.
She's like an animal.
Yep. All four are done. Now it's treat time. Give them a nice, juicy apple branch. There you go. Good job. So yeah, that's what we do anyway. And as I said before, no expert, but it works so far. If anybody has any suggestions or knows better, please let us know. And I'm looking for some new clippers as well. If you know any that are actually good, please let me know. I could really use some really good ones. Make our lives easier. It's the next day and we've got a few other things to share with you. So we have been making some of these chicken coops. It's two parts. This is the bit that moves around where we want the chickens to be in, and then that's going to be the bit that we will have the chickens closed in during the night due to predators. That's fully secure, and basically nothing can come in once it's closed or come out. So the idea will be with this, so that's going to get moved around with the chickens inside, and the reason we have this waterproof membrane is so the water, if it rains, doesn't actually get into the feed and doesn't get wasted. And that'll be the door that will basically line up with that door, and then that will allow us to basically transfer chickens without them running away, really. So yeah. However, a few bits that weren't planned, we ended up getting geese. And these guys, so we got 8 of them, and they are absolute machines for eating grass. And I think it's like 80% of their diet is grass, and we have plenty of it. So these guys will be following the goats, and yeah, we got plenty of grass they can be growing, and that'll be another exploitation of the actual land that we have, and we're quite excited about that. Our first poultry for the homestead, and they're quite nice to have around. They like live alarm systems because they see anything that's out of ordinary, they'll be absolutely loud and they love to scream around. Yeah, dead calm at the moment. because nothing's alerting them. They're quite happy. They got their water. We also supplement with a bit of grain as well. I just put it out because it's a bit rainy, but yeah, they're quite happy. So another thing that we got set up is the actual net that will allow us to move the geese around the actual property, and it gives them quite a lot of space. It's a poultry net. It's narrow at the bottom, and then it gets a little bit bigger in increments, bigger, and then it gets very large. You also allow us to connect electricity to it, electric shock. I think it's more for external predators more than anything, because these guys, where we got them from, they came from a place which basically has half the size of this net, and it's just a mesh one. So I think they're quite respectful of the boundary, so as long as they got enough food, so it'll be all right. And it'll be quite easy to move them as well. Another very important thing, obviously, because of the land, the grass is quite lush at the moment. We had quite a bit of rain, and you can see where the goats have been doing their job. But the idea is to keep them on their single spot for a few days and then move them again, because we don't want the actual ground to be burnt out. What they do, they basically poo on it, and it completely goes like muddy and horrible. It takes quite a long time for the grass to recover, and we don't want that, obviously, because when it's all circulated, goats will come over, and they obviously won't have anything to eat. So it'll be tight control for that one. And they're very inquisitive. It's such a nice animal to have around. They're like in a little alarm system. Anything that's out of ordinary, they will make a lot of sound. Oh.